Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and I've got a special guest.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
So back by popular demand, or at least one comment referencing where was Mrs. Duelist, aka Celestial. She's going to help me introduce today's deck, which was also sort of requested through the comment section. And since I've been throwing around the Ancient Egyptian God cards literally for a week, I was asked, can we put all of them in one deck? Now, I think I've got the answer, and I think you'll enjoy it. You want to go ahead and give them the list?
Alrighty, here is the list, guys. We have 3 Guardian Slimes, 2 Mathematicians, sorry. We've got Obelisk, the Perform Age Trick Clown, 3 of Raw's Disciples. Sorry, the light's kind of doing its thing. The 3 of the Reactor Slime, 3 Slifer, 3 Tellus, the Little Angel, and 2 of the Winged Dragon of Ra. Now, the spell cards we're going to be using are 3 Ancient Chant, 2 Card Advance, Harpy's Feather Duster, a Monster Reborn, 2 Pots of Duality, make that 3, 2 Pots of Prosperity, 3 Soul Crossings, 2 of the True Name, and then last but not least, Thunder Force Attack.
Times 2.
Times that by 2.
All right, show them the extra deck real quick.
Absolutely.
Keep in mind, we're using most of this as a pot of fodder, so we are giving you less than 15 cards. Guys, just fill it in however you guys see fit for the remainder. What do we have?
Okay, we've got 3 Egyptian God Slimes, Artemis, the Magus Moon Maiden, IP Masquerena, Nightmare Unicorn, and Salamangreat Owl Mirage.
All right. So not terrible. It's, again, pretty close to everything we've been doing all week. I did find that the Slime Engine is probably the strongest way to go ahead and play these guys. Now, for anybody who is just here for the list, and of course to hear my beautiful wife talk over what cards were here, I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by and listening to us today. You guys feel free to have a great day. And again, if this helps or was amusing to you, consider subscribing to the channel and letting your friends know. Other than that, seriously, go have a great day. Everybody else, let me talk over these cards one more time. And I'm probably just going to breeze over it. Because again, I've named these cards, 4 times this week now. So fantastic. So again, starting off with the Guardian Slime, what we're trying to do here is invoke its ability when we take battle damage or effect damage. We can special summon this card once per turn. If it battles an opponent's monster as a quick effect, we can make its gain defense equal to the opposing monster's attack that it's battling during the damage calculation only. And if it's sent from the hand or the field to the graveyard, we can add a spell or trap from the deck that lists the Winged Dragon of Ra in its text. Again, all of these effects, hard once per turns, and we're going to use it mostly with our Perform Age Trick Clown. And in order to get Perform Age Trick Clown, we ran the double Mathematician. Again, when this is normal summon, you can send a level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. So again, this is going to work very similar to Foolish Burial, except it's going to limit how big the monster can be. And if it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, we can draw a card. That second part doesn't come up very often. You can't play a deck with all 3 gods if you don't have all 3 gods. Unfortunately, Obelisk, slightly weaker than the others these days. Just didn't get as good of effects. Again, all 3 of these are going to say that they require 3 tributes to normal summon, cannot be normal set. The normal summon cannot be negated, and when normal summoned, cards and effects cannot be activated. Now, specifically to him, neither player can target him with card effects, and once per turn during the end phase if it was special summoned, send it to the graveyard. Last thing, you contribute 2 monsters, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This card cannot declare an attack the turn you use this. Again, we're just bodying him in order to say that we were able to play all 3 in the deck. He's still very cool, still very fun to play. Unfortunately, I'm changing over to Team Slifer, I think, because I think Slifer has more potential at this point. The single trick clown, as opposed to the double we were running in the Winged Dragon of Ra, again, it's not as necessary. And this is the reason why we have Artemis, the Magistus Moon Maiden, in our extra deck. Because even on a normal summon, We can link it off to activate the effect, and that effect is when this is sent to the graveyard. It doesn't matter where from. Target a Perform Mage in the graveyard, target himself, special summon it, zero it out, and then you take 1,000 damage. Use this effect only once per turn, which is sad because honestly, if you could do that more than once, you would just play a bunch of Artemis and board up all your tributes that way. But one is very good, and I don't seem to break it. Running the triple Ra's Disciple again. When this is summoned, you can special summon up to 2 Ra's Disciple from the hand and or the deck. Cannot be attributed except for the tribute summon of either Slifer, Obelisk, or the Winged Dragon of Ra. You can also not special summon monsters except by the effect of Ra's Disciple, effectively shutting down your own special summoning. That said, still a terribly wonderful card, and a great way for us to manipulate the field into more tributes. Reactor Slime, still doing a lot of work for us. We did take out the Metal Reflect Slimes, so we're not going to worry about that portion of the effect. We're going to tell you the first part. So during the main phase, you can activate the effect to special summon 2 slime tokens, 500 AD. You cannot normal summon or special summon for the remainder of the turn except divine monsters. So again, this is a great, easy way to generate enough tokens. And since our main god this time is going to be Slifer, we want to preserve our hand as much as possible. Speaking of Slifer, it's got the normal god effects, and then when it's special summoned, send it to the graveyard during the end phase. This one gains 1,000 attack and defense for every card in your hand. Of course, as that fluctuates, that number will change. If a monster or monsters is normal or special summoned to the opposing side of the field in attack mode, those monsters lose 2,000 attack points from their attack. And then if it's reduced to 0 as a result, destroy the monsters. Now, for those of you who have seen the ban list, yes, I've seen it. Yes, I'm going to do my little discussion on it. It'll be a quick 5-10 minute thing. It'll probably be up later today. That's not in effect till the 1st, which I believe is like next Wednesday or Thursday. That said, we did build this deck with that ban list in mind. And I did see that Dragon Links took quite a hit. So one of the biggest things that it went off against is going to be gone. But additionally, there are going to be a ton of other decks like Salamangreat that just got some buffs. These decks are still going to special summon predominantly in attack mode, especially when going into their link climbs. And again, Slifer is going to be able to shut that down for you. We are running 3 Tellus the Little Angel. And again, if this is sent from a monster zone to the graveyard, we're going to use Salamangreat Almirage to kick this off. You can special summon a Tellus Wing token. And then while you have a Tellus Wing token on the field, this in the graveyard, banish this in the discard pile, banish 1 spell in your hand. Again, we get a lot of once per turn spells. So this is going to work out well to unclog our hand and continue through the plays. To special summon another 2 Tellus Wings. We cannot special summon for the remainder of this turn except from our hand, so it is going to shut down the extra deck plays. But again, if you're using this route to get into your tribute, chances are you weren't using your Egyptian God Slime yet. So that's all fine and fair. We are using 2 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra. This is to essentially make sure that our ancient chants are going to resolve. And additionally, this one cannot be special summoned. Does work. It does do all the normal things. 3 tributes, no set, and of course cannot be responded to on summon. When it is normal summon, you can pay life till you only have 100. Transfer what you paid into this character's attack and defense. Again, we're going to get around that with Ancient Chant. And then additionally, you can pay 1,000 life points to target a monster on the field and destroy that target. So again, he does have a little spot removal effect. I went with the alternate art again because I just like it better. I don't know. Over to the spells, we do run the 3 Ancient Chants. This is part of the consistency engine that goes along with the Guardian Slime. And this is what our target will be for his effect. Add 1 Winged Dragon of Ra from deck or discard to hand, and if you do, you can tribute summon a monster during the main phase in addition to the normal summon. So again, since we are predominantly playing Slifer, this is going to be like playing double summon, but while playing double summon, maintaining the amount of cards in hand. So again, I did want to play a little Slifer-centric, as if that's a word. Additionally, you could banish this in the graveyard, and then if you tribute summon the Winged Dragon of Ra this turn, its original attack and defense become the combined values of the monsters tributed for it. and we are going to sort of combine this with Soul Crossing. Soul Crossing will basically allow us to just use all of our opponent's monsters. And again, this is a great way to get Winged Dragon of Ra to some crazy stats. Check the combos video if you're interested in that. I go over it a little more there. We backed off on card advance and true name. So with the card advance, you look at the top 5 of your deck, and then you place them back in any order you like. Kind of reminds me of the old trainer card Pokedex or whatever it was from the original Pokemon TCG. Additionally, this allows you to tribute summon in an additional time in addition to the one that you get naturally. So again, it's like having another double summon. Feather Duster and Reborn, good for back row control and extension. We are running the trip dualities for the Excavate 3 add 1. The caveat here is we can't special summon the turn we activate this, but we don't have a negative interaction with our next card, which is the Pot of Prosperity, which is super duality. With this one, and again, this is the reason why I built such a small extra deck all week, because again, those choices, you pick what you have, pick what you know you might use, but something that isn't super tied into the strategy. It gives you guys some real player freedom. When we play this, we're going to choose to banish either 3 or 6 cards from our extra deck, our choice. And we're going to banish those face down so our opponent doesn't get to know what they are. That's fine. For the rest of the turn after this resolves, the opponent takes half damage. What we're going to do is excavate cards equal to what we banished by effect. This is why it's super duality, because we can excavate through 6 cards rather than just 3. Additionally, we will be able to place the cards we didn't choose in any order on the bottom of the deck. So if you're good at counting your own cards and knowing what you've already been through, you can sort of run numbers in your head if you need to. Additionally, you can't draw cards by card effects for the remainder of the turn or during the turn that you activate this. So this is, again, why we need the Guardian Slime. It adds to hand. Ancient Chant adds to hand. Excavation effects are add to hand. So we get a lot of good interaction and no negative feedback on those other cards. Again, the Soul Crossing, nice quick play. During the main phase, after this resolves, tribute a Divine Beast monster, tribute summon one, sorry. When you do, you can tribute any number of monsters your opponent controls in addition to your own, even though you don't control them. And if you do use your opponent's monsters after this resolves and for the next turn afterward, you can only activate 1 card or effect per turn, not counting the effects of Divine Beast. Again, this stops you from limiting how many times Slifer's second mouth can actually strike out on the opponent's turn while they're trying to build boards. So, fantastic. True name. Declare a card name, excavate the top card of your deck, and if it is the declared card, again with card advance, it should be. Add that to your hand, and then you can add to your hand or special summon a divine monster. I was asked a couple of times, why did I play this with the Winged Dragon of Ra deck? And it was because I can still add to hand. And I enjoy being able to do that. In this deck, it makes way more sense because we have 3 options, and this makes all 3 very searchable. And again, since it's an add to hand, no negative feedback from Pot of Prosperity. And then, of course, if you don't send it to the graveyard, you can only activate 1 of these per turn. That's all fine and well. And then I went with the 1 power spell, the Thunder Force attack. Run it in 2. Essentially becomes Raigeki for your Slifer, except it's not respondable. So this card's activation and effect cannot be negated. And if you control a monster whose name is Slifer, destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent controls as possible. It does not say that they need to be in attack mode, which is great. Then if you did this during your own main phase, you get to draw cards equal to the number of monsters that were destroyed and sent to the graveyard by this card. So again, you won't get anything off of destroying tokens, except obviously wiping them out. But as long as your opponent had boarded monsters, you're going to draw anywhere between a 0 and a 6, because again, you can destroy the card in the extra zone. And you can only activate 1 of these per turn, like so many of the cards in this deck, which is what makes Tellus so good for us. Back into the extra deck, we are running the God Slimes. We're running him because we could play him off of the Guardian Slime. We're also playing him because he can defend our gods once he's out. To do this, you got to read the rest of the effect. So this monster could be 1 or 3 tributes for the tribute summon of a monster. Perfect. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Perfect. The opponent's monsters cannot target for attacks, or the opponent cannot target with card effects any monster you control except Egyptian God Slime. And what this is going to do is take some unnecessary heat off of Slifer and Winged Dragon of Ra because they are still targetable, whereas Obelisk isn't. But if they were somehow able to overpower Obelisk, they're going to end up having to crash into a battle immune monster anyway. So, very good. Artemis is here for the Perform Mage. You just make this off of any one level 4 lower spellcaster. It's just to kick that off the same way we use the Salamangrate, IP Masquerade, and Unicorn because of the utility. And again, Salamangrate is going to run sort of double duty. Okay, with Tellus, this is how we're going to put Tellus in the discard pile from field to grave, and then also be able to generate all 3 of our tokens. Additionally, it does have the quick effect here. You contribute this card, target a monster that you control, obviously not Obelisk. It cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects this turn. Additionally, when a normal summon monster you control is destroyed by battle while this is in the graveyard, you can special summon it. Each effect hard once per turn. So there may be a time where you can resolve this with my Mathematician card in there, at which point you'll get to draw 1 and then special this back. But we're really using it as disposable protection for the other 2 Ancient Egyptian God cards, especially Slifer, since that's the one we really want to play the most. So that was the deck profile, as well as the list. Again, I hope that you guys enjoyed all the God decks this week. I think I'm done with Ancient Egyptian Gods here for a little bit. I'm thinking I might do one for the Wickeds. Again, I'm probably going to run Winged Dragon of Ra with most of the slime stuff. So maybe I won't do it. I'll do it because I want to use Divine Evolution. I really want to see that card in a profile. So I'm going to do it. I'll do that, and I want to do the Sacred Beasts. I know I made the channel after the deck, so I didn't end up profiling the structure deck or anything, but it's still worth noting, and it's still very cool and very huge monsters. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I do hope that you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.